You're listening to Saturday Morning Media. And now, back to our show. Here we go. Welcome once again to the Grantcast. My name is Grant Baciocco, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to episode number 240 of the Grantcast. Can you believe there's been 240 episodes of this? I can, since I started this so many years ago, and did the first episode and then took, 3 or 4 years to make the second episode. Anyway, hi, welcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for being here. Special shout out to all of our Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and support the show. They get to see, they get this episode as soon as it is edited. And they also get, at certain levels, a video at the behind-the-scenes level of the recording of these episodes. So if you want to see the magic that goes into this, consider becoming a patron. Hi, friends. I'm exhausted, but I've been having the time of my life. As I said before, I am puppeteering. I am a friend of Chucky up at Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. Most shifts start for me at 6:30 p.m., and then I am usually leaving by 2:30, but sometimes I'm leaving later. It just depends on how many people are in line when they close the queue, but I am really liking it. It's a great group of people, and we are really finding kind of how to... When the show started, it was sort of very much scripted, but we are now finding ways to add more audience participation, involvement, improv into things as we go along. So that is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying doing that very much. And there's some funny moments and funny interaction with the sidekick, as it is called, who is the human host that Chucky participates with. And so, yeah, if you get a chance, when this comes out, it will still be running. So if you get a chance, please come up and see us. We would love to see you. I have had an idea in my head to do a song parody for Toiley for a couple weeks now. There is the song, I am going to say their name completely wrong, but Chappelle Roan, very popular song called Hot to Go, Hottogo. And for weeks now, I've had this parody song idea in my head for Toiley to do a parody called Got to Go, Gottogo, about going to the bathroom. And it's been in my head for several weeks. And yesterday, I just decided, you know what? I got to do this because time is rapidly passing where this song will be in the public knowledge, so I'm going to record this. And so yesterday I did. I filmed a really quick and bang-up video for it and posted it on TikTok and Instagram. And currently, I don't think it's even been 24 hours yet. It has over 1.1 million views on TikTok and over 100,000 views on Instagram. I have not made it live on YouTube yet because YouTube is checking it. They are saying that it may have limited being able to have limited ads run on it. And so I'm reviewing that before I post it there, but we will see what happens. But anyway, it was just interesting because when I posted it yesterday, it was kind of gaining viewers so quickly that I was like, this is going to be a hit. Just from past experience of posting on TikTok. And it really made me feel like, the good old days of when I could post a video on TikTok and it would do really well, as opposed to posting a video on TikTok and it only gets 1,000 views. Now here, it's always the perspective thing. If you get 3,000 people to watch your video, that's 3,000 people. You know what I mean? Like, that would be more people that is in a 99-seat theater, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of people. And even to get a video that has 10,000, that's amazing. That's really great. You have 10,000 views. So it was just nice to see this one, like, finally, I have something that folks want to see, and now it's 1.1 million views, and hopefully it will climb higher. I posted it, and I posted a little note that said, don't tell, I can't say her name, their name, sorry, I guess their pronouns are they, them. Chappelle Roan, I just said, don't tell Chappelle Roan that I did this. And so everybody is tagging her, of course. I mean, I did that so people would tag them and they would see it. Now, hopefully, if and when they do see it, they take it in the spirit it was intended, that it's just fun. A very fun thing is a lot of people have been saying, I'm going to use this for potty training my kids, which I think is hilarious. But anyway, it was nice for an old timer to have a video do really, really well, because it's been a very long time since that has happened. So if you want to go check out Toiley's GOTTOGO video, you can do that on Instagram and TikTok, and soon YouTube. It'll be up there as well. It's on Facebook too. So I wanted to talk today about my yellow hat. I bought a scanner to scan old photos. I think I've talked about this before on here. And I've been scanning these old photos. My family went on a trip. It was the first time I went to Walt Disney World. And I think this is either 86, 87, 88. The time has been kind of back and forth on when exactly it has been. But my grandparents got us a trip. It was a trip to Orlando to go to Walt Disney World and then to take a cruise to the Bahamas. And as I said, I think I've talked about this before, but on the cruise, I bought a yellow Panama hat, just your classic Panama hat. It was bright yellow. It was like the man in the yellow hat, except it was a Panama hat, sort of fabric-y. And then the band around it was sort of this Hawaiian, islandy, multicolored thing. And I love that hat. And I wore that hat all the time, just constantly all the time. And I will post a picture of me wearing the hat, probably from that trip, as the episode art for this episode. But I really like that hat. And when I started high school, because this was the summer before I started high school. When I started high school, I wore that hat to high school. Now, I think these days, there's kind of the stigma of the guys who wear a fedora. I didn't see it that way. I just thought this was a cool hat and wore it to school. And one day at lunch, when I wore this hat, I was out in the quad area with a bunch of other classmates. And suddenly, something hit me square on the forehead, like really hard out of nowhere. What I quickly realized was that one of the older kids had thrown a plum at me. Now, I got to admit, whoever threw this, perfect aim. Hit me right smack in the forehead, knocked the hat off my head. 1 in a million shot. You wouldn't be able to do that from the distance that this thing came. But me, when that happens, I'm ready to fight. I am ready to start throwing punches, to start biting, because yes, when I was a fighter, I was a biter. Because I often found that if you bite somebody in the middle of a fight, that stops the fight because they think you're insane. So I immediately started going, who threw that? Come on over here if you want to throw that. And these senior kids started walking over and they're like, you got a problem? And I go, did you throw that? And they didn't say yes, but I said, did you throw that? And they wouldn't answer the question. And then some teachers came over and sort of broke it up and everything. And I just remember there was this one kid, and I'll say him by name, because if he's listening to this and he wants to tell his brother that I'm talking shit about him, he can go ahead and do that. This one kid, Matt Sullivan, goes, that was my brother. And I was like, I don't care who it was. You don't throw things at people. So if he wants to, he was like, well, you shouldn't have done that because he's going to be pissed. And I go, I don't care if he's pissed. I'm pissed. He's welcome to come up to me. Now, I get my ass handed to me, and that's fine. But I was not somebody who would sit down and take this as it is. But I will say that I did fold to peer pressure, and I never wore that hat again to school because of the plum incident. And there you go. Anyway, that's the story I wanted to tell today here on the Grantcast. Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for downloading. Another big shout out to all of our Patreon patrons who you'll hear about in just a second as I read the credits. Thanks for listening to this. I will be back with another episode of the Grantcast very, very soon. Goodbye, everybody. This episode of the Grantcast was edited by Stephen Staver and was made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a pledge for as little as $1 a month. Patrons at the behind-the-scenes level and above get access to a video of the recording of these episodes, and all patrons get the episodes the moment they are edited. Big shout out to all of our patrons, and a special shout out to our patron producers, Eve Cunning, Kathy Crawford, Tony Urbano, Brandy, David Akers, Paul, Scott Armstrong, Vicky Sebring, Ricky Chavez, Karina, Jeff Toro, and Lee Thompson. If you'd like to become a patron and receive episodes of the Grantcast before they are released, visit patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up your monthly pledge today. And thank you for your support. This episode of the Grantcast is copyright 2024 Saturday Morning Media Grant Baciocco Executive Producer. All rights reserved. www.saturdaymorningmedia.com.
You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.